In the heart of the savannah stands an ancient baobab, older than time itself. Beneath its branches resides Elder Tusker, an elephant shrouded in mystery. He calls upon every creature to gather beneath the baobab's canopy, where stories of unity and wisdom will be shared. As the sun rises, creatures of all shapes and sizes set off towards the baobab, drawn by the promise of Elder Tusker's tales. It is an unprecedented gathering, transcending the usual boundaries of the wild. Under the watchful eye of the rising sun, the animals assemble, their hearts filled with anticipation. A circle forms around Elder Tusker, each creature finding its place in the gathering. As Elder Tusker prepares to share his tales, a hush falls over the assembly. The animals listen intently, captivated by the promise of wisdom and unity. Little do they know, their lives are about to be forever changed by the stories of the past. So close your eyes and let the gentle rhythm of the savannah lull you into a peaceful slumber. Welcome to Cozy Dreamtale. Chapter 1. The Gathering of the Animals. Once upon a time, in the heart of the vast savannah, stood an ancient baobab, older than time itself. Its roots delved deep into the earth, and its branches reached towards the heavens, as if holding the sky itself. Beneath this magnificent tree, the soil held stories, whispered through the leaves and carried by the wind. Stories of wisdom, courage, and unity. In the shade of this baobab lived Elder Tusker, an elephant whose age was a mystery to all. His tusks were long and curved, etched with the marks of time, and his eyes held the depth of knowledge passed down through countless generations. Elder Tusker was revered by all creatures, for he was the keeper of the animal kingdom's history, a living archive of their shared past. One day, as the sun rose painting the sky in hues of gold and crimson, Elder Tusker decided it was time. Time to share the wisdom of the ages, to recount the tales that spoke of cooperation and respect among the different species of the animal kingdom. He knew these stories had the power to unite them, to remind them of their interconnectedness and their shared destiny. With a deep, rumbling call, Elder Tusker summoned the winds to his aid. "Go forth," he whispered, his voice resonating with an ancient authority. "Carry my invitation to every corner of the savannah. Let every creature, from the smallest ant to the tallest giraffe, know they are summoned to gather beneath the baobab. It is time for the stories to be told, for the wisdom of the past to light our path forward." The wind, recognizing the gravity of his request, swept across the savannah, carrying Elder Tusker's message. It whispered through the grasslands, rustled the leaves of the acacia trees, and danced over the rivers and streams, ensuring no creature was left unaware of the gathering. As the message spread, a sense of anticipation filled the air. Animals of all shapes and sizes began their journey towards the ancient baobab, drawn by the promise of Elder Tusker's wisdom. It was an unprecedented event, a gathering that transcended the usual boundaries of species and territories. And so, under the watchful eye of the rising sun, the animals assembled beneath the baobab's sprawling canopy. The air buzzed with the chatter of monkeys, the cooing of doves, and the rustling of hooves and paws on the dry earth. A circle formed around Elder Tusker, a living mosaic of the savannah's inhabitants, each creature finding its place in the gathering. Elder Tusker waited for the assembly to settle, his presence commanding silence without a word being spoken. When at last every creature had found their spot, he began to speak, his voice deep and resonant, carrying the weight of ages. "Welcome, children of the savannah," he began, his gaze sweeping over the assembled animals. "You have answered the call of the ancient baobab, and for that I am grateful. We stand at a crossroads, a time when the bonds that unite us are more important than ever. The stories I'm about to share are not just tales of the past. They are beacons for our future, guiding lights that show us the way towards cooperation and respect." The animals listened, captivated by Elder Tusker's words. A hush fell over the gathering, the kind of silence that is full of expectation, as the ancient elephant prepared to share the first of his tales. And so, beneath the ancient baobab, with the savannah as their witness, the animals embarked on a journey through time, led by the wisdom of Elder Tusker. Little did they know, their lives were about to be intertwined in ways they could never have imagined, bound together by the stories of the past and the lessons they held for the future. As the dawn crept gently over the savannah, painting the sky with strokes of pink and gold, the wind carried Elder Tusker's summons with a sense of urgency never felt before. It whispered through the tall grass, rustled the leaves of the mighty acacias, and swirled around the dens and nests, leaving no creature untouched by its message. In the burrows beneath the earth, the warrens and the hidden places, the small creatures stirred. The field mice, with their ears twitching in curiosity, listened intently. Even the insects, in their multitudes, paused in their endless toil to heed the call. The air was alive with anticipation, with every creature, great and small, sensing that something momentous was about to unfold. The birds took up the call, their voices lifting in a chorus that spread the invitation further than the wind could reach alone. From the tiny, flitting sunbirds with their iridescent feathers to the majestic eagles that soared high above, every bird sang out the message, calling the animal kingdom to gather. The larger animals too felt the stirrings of excitement. The giraffes, with their long necks and gentle eyes, nodded to one another, understanding the significance of Elder Tusker's call. The zebras, with their stripes shimmering in the new light of day, set off towards the baobab, their hooves raising clouds of dust that glinted like gold in the sunlight. Among the predators, the call fostered a truce, an understanding that this was a time for peace. The lions, regal and powerful, moved side by side with the antelopes, their usual prey, both drawn to the ancient tree by a force greater than their natural instincts. Even the crocodiles, lurking in the rivers and streams, felt the pull of the gathering, their ancient eyes reflecting a spark of curiosity. As the animals travelled to the baobab, a sense of unity began to weave among them, a thread of common purpose that transcended the ordinary divisions of the wild. The savannah, usually a place of survival and competition, transformed into a stage for something far more profound. When at last they arrived, the sight that greeted them was one of wonder. Beneath the vast canopy of the baobab, Elder Tusker stood like a monument, his skin etched with the wisdom of the ages. The animals arranged themselves in a great circle around him, a living tapestry of the savannah's inhabitants. From the smallest beetle to the towering giraffes, every creature found a place, their differences set aside in the face of the ancient elephant's majesty. Elder Tusker looked out over the assembly, his heart swelling with a sense of hope. Here, gathered together, were the many threads of life, each unique, yet bound by the same thread of existence. It was a moment of unity rare in the natural world, a testament to the power of his call. "Welcome, my friends," Elder Tusker began, his voice resonant and clear. "Today we stand together, not as predator and prey, but as inhabitants of the same earth, sharing the same fate. The stories I will share are gifts from our ancestors, lessons etched in the very soil of this land, carried by the wind and whispered by the rivers. Listen well, for these tales are mirrors reflecting our own lives, showing us the way forward together, in cooperation and respect." And so, with the savannah bathed in the golden light of morning, Elder Tusker began to recount the first of his tales, weaving words that captivated every creature, binding them together in a shared journey of discovery and wisdom. As the first rays of sunlight filtered through the branches of the ancient baobab, casting dappled shadows upon the gathered multitude, a hush fell over the assembly. The animals, diverse in form and kind, sat together in a grand circle, their eyes fixed upon Elder Tusker, who stood at its heart like a beacon of age-old wisdom. Elder Tusker looked out over the faces before him, each creature from the smallest insect to the largest lion, all waiting in silent anticipation for the stories that were to be told. He cleared his throat, a sound deep and resonant, and began to speak in a voice that seemed to embody the very spirit of the savannah. "Long ago," Elder Tusker began, his eyes twinkling with the magic of storytelling. "When the world was young and the savannah stretched endlessly under the dome of the sky, there lived a lion, proud and fierce, who believed he was the rightful ruler of all he surveyed. But his pride blinded him to the strength found in unity and the wisdom of others." The animals listened, enraptured by the tale, as Elder Tusker spun the story of the lion, his fall from grace due to his arrogance, and his eventual realization that true strength lay in cooperation and respect for all creatures, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. As the lion learned, Elder Tusker continued, so too must we understand that every creature, from the tiniest ant to the greatest elephant, plays a role in the tapestry of life. We are all connected, each of us dependent on the others for our survival and the well-being of the savannah. The story wove a spell over the assembly, with every creature reflecting on the lesson imparted by the ancient elephant. They saw themselves in the tale, recognizing moments of pride and arrogance, of underestimating others based on size or strength, and the essential truth that cooperation and respect were the foundations upon which a peaceful and prosperous community could be built. As the tale came to a close, Elder Tusker paused, allowing his words to sink in, to germinate in the hearts and minds of his audience. The silence was profound, a testament to the power of the story and the skill of its teller. Then, slowly, a murmur began to rise from the gathered animals. It was a sound of realization, of understanding and acceptance. Nods were exchanged among species that would normally avoid each other, and eyes met in silent acknowledgement of the shared lesson. Elder Tusker smiled, his heart warmed by the response of his audience. "This," he said, his voice echoing beneath the canopy of the baobab, is the beginning of understanding. Remember the lion and his journey from pride to humility, from isolation to unity. Let his story guide us as we move forward, together. The assembly began to disperse, the animals moving away in groups, talking among themselves about the story they had heard and the lessons it contained. The savannah, once a place of competition and strife, felt transformed, if only for a moment, into a community of beings connected by a common purpose. And as the animals returned to their daily lives, the words of Elder Tusker lingered in the air, carried by the wind, a reminder of the power of stories to change hearts and minds, to unite the disparate and diverse into a single, harmonious whole. Once the animals had settled back into their places, eager for the next story, Elder Tusker began again. His voice was soft, yet it carried across the gathering, drawing everyone into the world of his tale. In the heart of the savannah, where the grass whispers secrets to those who listen, there lived an ant and a dove, he started, his eyes gleaming with the joy of storytelling. The ant, small and industrious, spent her days toiling under the sun, gathering food for her colony. The dove, graceful and serene, nested high above in the branches of an acacia tree, watching the world below with keen eyes. One day, as fate would have it, the ant found herself trapped in the currents of a stream, her tiny body struggling against the relentless flow. The dove, from her perch in the tree, saw the ant's plight and, moved by compassion, plucked a leaf and dropped it into the stream near the struggling ant. The ant, seizing the leaf with gratitude, climbed aboard her makeshift raft and was carried safely to the shore. She looked up at the dove and vowed, "Kind dove, you have saved my life this day. I may be but a small and humble ant, but should you ever find yourself in need, I will come to your aid." The dove smiled, a gentle rustling of feathers, and nodded in acknowledgement of the ant's promise, believing it to be the simple gratitude of a heart saved from despair. Elder Tusker paused, allowing the image of the ant and dove's unlikely friendship to settle in the minds of his audience. Then he continued. Time passed, and the seasons changed until one day a hunter came to the savannah, his heart set on capturing the dove to take her beauty for his own. He set a trap near the dove's tree, hiding it beneath the grass, and waited. Once the animals had settled back into their places, eager for the next story, Elder Tusker began again. His voice was soft, yet it carried across the gathering, drawing everyone into the world of his tale. In the heart of the savannah, where the grass whispers secrets to those who listen, there lived an ant and a dove, he started, his eyes gleaming with the joy of storytelling. The ant, small and industrious, spent her days toiling under the sun, gathering food for her colony. The dove, graceful and serene, nested high above in the branches of an acacia tree, watching the world below with keen eyes. One day, as fate would have it, the ant found herself trapped in the currents of a stream, her tiny body struggling against the relentless flow. The dove, from her perch in the tree, saw the ant's plight and, moved by compassion, plucked a leaf and dropped it into the stream near the struggling ant. The ant, seizing the leaf with gratitude, climbed aboard her makeshift raft and was carried safely to the shore. She looked up at the dove and vowed, "Kind dove, you have saved my life this day. I may be but a small and humble ant, but should you ever find yourself in need, I will come to your aid." The dove smiled, a gentle rustling of feathers, and nodded in acknowledgement of the ant's promise, believing it to be the simple gratitude of a heart saved from despair. Elder Tusker paused, allowing the image of the ant and dove's unlikely friendship to settle in the minds of his audience. Then he continued. Time passed, and the seasons changed until one day a hunter came to the savannah. His heart set on capturing the dove to take her beauty for his own. He set a trap near the dove's tree, hiding it beneath the grass, and waited. The ant, ever watchful, saw the hunter and his trap. Remembering the dove's kindness, she knew she could not let her friend fall into danger. With the urgency that only true friendship can inspire, the ant climbed the tree and bit the dove on the foot, a sharp warning that spoke of imminent peril. Startled, the dove took to the sky just as the hunter sprung his trap, her wings carrying her beyond reach. She looked down to see the tiny ant standing bravely on the branch and understood. The smallest creature had repaid her kindness with courage and loyalty, saving her in return. Elder Tusker's voice grew soft, imbued with the wisdom of the ages. "This tale," he said, "teaches us that no act of kindness is ever too small, and no creature too insignificant to make a difference. Together, through cooperation and respect, we can overcome even the greatest of challenges." The animals sat in thoughtful silence, reflecting on the profound truth of Elder Tusker's words. The story of the ant and the dove was a beacon of hope, a reminder that unity and friendship were forces powerful enough to alter the course of fate. As the last rays of the setting sun dipped below the horizon, bathing the savannah in the soft glow of twilight, Elder Tusker began his next tale. The animals, still reflecting on the story of the ant and the dove, turned their attention back to the ancient elephant, their eyes sparkling with anticipation under the starlit sky. Under the cloak of night, Elder Tusker's voice resonated with a warmth that matched the evening air. The savannah transforms into a realm of mystery and magic. It is during this time that the fireflies, those tiny bearers of light, perform their dance, a spectacle of unity and beauty. He paused, allowing the creatures to imagine the scene, the air around them alive with the soft buzzing of nocturnal life. In the heart of the darkness, where shadows meld with the night, the fireflies gather, each one a flicker of light. Alone they are but whispers in the vastness of the savannah. Yet when they come together, they create a symphony of illumination, a beacon that no darkness can quell. Elder Tusker's trunk gestured gracefully, mimicking the dance of the fireflies as he continued. This dance, however, is not merely for beauty or display. It serves a greater purpose, a lesson passed down through generations of fireflies. For within their light lies the strength of unity, the message that together they can light up the darkest night, guide the lost to safety, and ward off the shadows that lurk in the hearts of the savannah. The animals watched, entranced, as Elder Tusker painted a vivid picture of the fireflies' dance, their tiny lights coming together to form patterns of stunning complexity and beauty. It was a dance that spoke of cooperation, of individual lights joining to form a greater whole, a testament to the power of unity. There was a time, the elephant recounted, when a young cub, separated from his pride, found himself lost in the darkness. Frightened and alone, he wandered, his cries echoing into the night. It was the fireflies, with their collective light, who heard his pleas and surrounded him, creating a glowing path for him to follow. Led by their light, the cub found his way back to his pride, to the warmth and safety of his family. And from that day forth, he knew that no matter how dark the night might seem, there was always light to be found, always a way back home, as long as there was unity and cooperation among those who share this earth. Elder Tusker's story drew to a close, leaving behind a silence filled with wonder and reflection. The animals, from the tiniest mouse to the largest lion, understood the profound message woven through the tale of the fireflies. In unity, there was light, hope, and the strength to overcome any obstacle. The night around them seemed less dark, the stars above more brilliant, as if the savannah itself had absorbed the essence of the story, reminding all who lived under its vast sky that together they held the power to illuminate the darkest of paths. As the night deepened and a hush settled over the savannah, Elder Tusker prepared to share the final tale of the assembly. The animals, their hearts and minds full of the stories they had heard, leaned in, not wanting to miss a word of the last narrative that would conclude their night under the stars. In the endless dance of the savannah, where land meets sky, the rivers flow, Elder Tusker began, his voice a gentle rumble like distant thunder. They carved their paths through the earth, relentless and unwavering, a journey that begins with a single drop of rain and grows into a mighty force, nurturing all life in its embrace. He paused, allowing the image of the rivers, powerful and life-giving, to fill the minds of his listeners. The rivers hold within them the wisdom of the ages, for they have seen the world change, watched civilizations rise and fall. They understand the importance of learning from the past, of remembering the lessons that history teaches us, so we may flow towards a future of harmony and peace. Elder Tusker's trunk moved through the air, tracing the meandering path of a river. There was a time when the creatures of the savannah forgot the wisdom of the rivers. They quarreled and fought, each seeking dominion over the other, their hearts closed to the lessons of the past. The savannah suffered under the weight of their discord, the land parched, and the rivers running dry from neglect. The rivers, pained by the destruction, whispered to a young elephant, one who had shown a deep respect for the stories of old. They told her of the times when the savannah thrived in unity, when the rivers flowed freely, their waters a testament to the cooperation and respect among all creatures. Intrigued, the animals listened as Elder Tusker described how the young elephant, inspired by the river's wisdom, set out to mend the rifts among the inhabitants of the savannah. She spoke of the importance of remembering the past, of learning from it to avoid the mistakes that had led them to discord. She reminded them that, like the rivers, they were stronger together, that their differences were not a cause for division, but a source of strength. Slowly, the animals began to listen, to open their hearts to the wisdom she shared. They worked together to heal the savannah, to restore the balance that had been lost. Elder Tusker's voice was filled with hope as he recounted the transformation of the savannah, the rebirth of a land guided by the wisdom of the rivers and the unity of its creatures. The rivers flowed once again, their waters clear and abundant, a mirror reflecting the peace and harmony that had been restored. As the story came to a close, the animals sat in reflective silence. The lessons of the rivers etched deep in their hearts. They understood now the importance of history, of respecting the wisdom of the past to create a future where all could thrive. Elder Tusker looked out over the assembly, his heart full. "Let us carry these stories with us," he said, his voice echoing softly in the night. "Let them be a reminder of the strength found in unity, the beauty of cooperation, and the wisdom of learning from those who walked before us." The night whispered around them, the stars twinkling above like countless eyes watching over the savannah. The animals, their spirits lifted by the tales they had heard, knew that the stories of the elephant's memory would guide them, a beacon of light in the darkness, leading the way to a future of harmony and peace. And so, under the vast African sky, the assembly came to an end, not with a conclusion, but with a beginning, the start of a new chapter in the story of the savannah, inspired by the ancient wisdom of an elephant and the timeless tales of the animal kingdom. Chapter 2. The River's Secret. In the gentle embrace of dawn, as the first light caressed the savannah, Elder Tusker awoke with a purpose. The previous night's gathering under the ancient baobab tree had rekindled a spark within him, a desire to share another story, one that lay hidden within the heart of the savannah itself. This tale was not his to tell alone. It required the silent whispers of the oldest storyteller, the river. As the sun lifted higher, casting golden hues across the land, Elder Tusker made his way to the animals, who were just beginning to stir from their slumber. With a voice that resonated with the wisdom of ages, he announced, "Today, we embark on a journey to the river, for it holds within its depths a tale yet untold, a secret that binds us all." The animals, their curiosity piqued by Elder Tusker's words, gathered around him, a myriad of species united by a shared eagerness to uncover the mysteries of the river. The journey promised not only a story, but also an adventure, a chance to see the savannah through the eyes of its most ancient guardian. Together they set off, the land around them awakening to the symphony of life. Birds took to the sky, their songs a melody that seemed to encourage the travelers on their path. The grass beneath their feet whispered secrets of its own, a reminder of the countless stories that the savannah held, each blade a witness to the dance of life and death, of harmony and conflict. Elder Tusker led the way, his steps steady and sure, each one an echo of the countless journeys he had undertaken in his long life. The animals followed, a procession of feathers, fur and scales, each participant aware that they were part of something much larger than themselves, a thread in the intricate tapestry of the savannah story. The journey was not long, but it allowed the animals to see the interconnectedness of their world, the delicate balance that sustained life in all its forms. They passed herds of grazing antelope, their alert eyes watching the travelers pass. They skirted around the territory of lions, the kings of the savannah, who watched with a lazy interest, their majestic heads resting on their paws. Finally, the sound of rushing water reached their ears, growing louder with each step, until they stood at the river's edge, its waters gleaming under the sun like a ribbon of light cutting through the heart of the savannah. The river, wide and powerful, flowed with a majesty that demanded respect, its currents whispering of ancient times, of secrets buried beneath its surface. Elder Tusker halted, turning to face the gathered animals. "The river," he began, his voice imbued with reverence, "is the lifeblood of the savannah, a source of sustenance for all, but it is also a keeper of stories, a guardian of the past. Today, it will share with us a tale of unity and survival, a reminder of the strength that lies in working together." The animals, mesmerized by the river's beauty and power, listened intently, their hearts open to the story that would soon unfold. They understood that this was no ordinary tale, but a gift from the savannah itself, a piece of the eternal puzzle that was life on this vast, vibrant land. As Elder Tusker prepared to reveal the river's secret, the animals settled around him, the water lapping gently at their feet, a reminder of the ever-present connection between life and the stories that weave through it, binding the past with the present and guiding the future. The stage was set, the listeners ready, and the river in its boundless wisdom began to whisper its tale to Elder Tusker, a story of times long past but never forgotten, a lesson for all who were willing to hear. As the animals settled by the river's embrace, Elder Tusker's voice melded with the murmur of the water, weaving the tale of the crocodile's dilemma into the tapestry of the savannah's history. Long ago, when the world was young and the river's song first echoed through the savannah, there lived a crocodile, fierce and proud, who claimed the river as his own. This crocodile, with scales as hard as stone and eyes like gleaming emeralds, believed that the river's wealth belonged to him and him alone. He denied access to its life-giving waters to all who lived along its banks, guarding it jealously against any who dared approach. The animals listened, their hearts tight with the injustice of the crocodile's actions, imagining the thirst of the savannah's inhabitants, denied the river's embrace. But the river, wise and ancient, knew that its waters were meant for all, a gift to sustain the life that thrummed along its shores. It whispered in the ears of the smallest creatures, the otters, playful and swift, who saw the suffering of the savannah and decided to act, guided by the river's wisdom. Elder Tusker paused, allowing the anticipation to build, as the animals leaned in closer, captivated by the story unfolding. One day, as the sun blazed overhead, casting a golden glow upon the land, the crocodile's offspring, curious and unheeding of their father's warnings, became entangled in a net left by hunters. They thrashed and twisted, but the net's grip was unyielding, a death sentence for those caught within its embrace. The animals gasped, imagining the plight of the young crocodiles, their fierce father powerless to help. It was then that the otters, small though they were, saw the trapped offspring. Without a thought for their own safety, they dove into the water, their nimble fingers working quickly to untangle the net. The crocodile, watching from a distance, his heart a tempest of fear and rage, witnessed the selfless act of the otters, creatures he had always considered beneath him. Elder Tusker's voice softened, the story reaching its heart, a lesson unfolding in the minds of his listeners. Free at last, the crocodile's offspring scrambled to their father, chirping their tale of rescue. The crocodile, his heart changed by the otter's kindness, realized the folly of his ways. The river was not his to claim, but a treasure to be shared, a source of life for all who dwelt along its banks. The animals, their eyes wide with wonder, saw the lesson woven through the tale, the transformation of the crocodile's heart, a mirror to their own changing perceptions. From that day forth, the crocodile became the river's fiercest guardian, ensuring that its waters flowed freely for all. The savannah flourished, for the river's life-giving embrace was open to all, a testament to the power of selflessness and the strength found in unity. Elder Tusker concluded the tale, the river's gentle flow a soothing epilogue to the story of change and redemption. The animals, their spirits lifted by the tale, understood that even the hardest heart could be softened, that kindness and cooperation were the true keys to prosperity and peace. In the wake of the crocodile's dilemma, a newfound understanding blossomed along the riverbanks, nurtured by the acts of selflessness and bravery demonstrated by the otters. Elder Tusker, his voice a gentle rumble like distant thunder, continued the tale, weaving the next chapter of the river's legacy. After the rescue of the crocodile's offspring, a profound change swept across the river's domain. The crocodile, once a solitary guardian of the waters, now sought the company of the otters, creatures he had once deemed insignificant. Together, under the dappled light that danced upon the river's surface, they forged a pact, a promise that would shape the future of all who depended on the river's grace. The animals, gathered at Elder Tusker's feet, listened intently, their hearts alight with hope. The tale was no longer just a story. It was a beacon, guiding them towards a brighter future. The pact, known as the Pact of the Waters, was simple yet profound. It declared that the river's bounty was to be shared among all creatures, big and small, predator and prey. The crocodile, with his strength and wisdom, would ensure that the waters remained safe and accessible, while the otters, with their agility and spirit, would serve as the river's messengers, spreading the word of the pact to the farthest reaches of the savannah. Elder Tusker paused, his eyes twinkling like stars in the night sky, as he allowed the significance of the pact to sink in. The day the pact was made, the river itself seemed to rejoice. The waters flowed more sweetly, the fish leaped in joy, and the birds sang songs of unity from the treetops. It was as if the very heart of the savannah had been healed, a rift mended by the courage to change, to embrace the other as a friend, not a foe. The animals, their imaginations captivated by the vivid imagery Elder Tusker painted, could almost hear the joyous symphony of the savannah, feel the unity that the Pact of the Waters had inspired. From that day forward, the river became a place of gathering, a sanctuary where all could drink and bathe without fear. The crocodile, once feared and avoided, was now revered as a wise elder, his counsel sought by many. The otters, playful ambassadors of the river's will, were celebrated for their bravery and kindness. Elder Tusker's voice grew soft, a gentle breeze that carried the tale to its conclusion. The Pact of the Waters was more than just an agreement. It was a symbol of what could be achieved when hearts and minds are opened, when the well-being of the community is placed above the desires of the individual. It taught that sharing and cooperation are not signs of weakness, but the very foundation of strength and prosperity. As the tale of the Pact of the Waters came to a close, the animals around Elder Tusker felt a shift within themselves. The story had woven its magic, planting seeds of understanding and compassion in their hearts. They looked at one another, no longer seeing just a predator or prey, but a fellow participant in the great dance of life. each with a role to play in the preservation of harmony. Elder Tusker, his tale told, gazed at his audience, a motley crew of feathers, fur, and scales, united in their diversity. The river's secret, he whispered, is not just a story from the past. It is a lesson for today, a guide for tomorrow. Let us carry the spirit of the Pact of the Waters in our hearts, sharing its wisdom with all who walk the savannah. And so, under the benevolent gaze of the ancient baobab tree, the animals made a silent vow to honor the lessons of the river, to live in cooperation and respect, ensuring the savannah remained a place of abundance and peace for generations to come. With the Pact of the Waters now a beacon of hope and unity among the savannah's inhabitants, Elder Tusker narrated the unfolding of a new chapter, one that demonstrated the enduring wisdom and generosity of the otters. In the days that followed the forging of the pact, the riverbanks buzzed with a newfound spirit of cooperation. Yet, for the river to continue being the lifeline of the savannah, it required care and respect, a duty that fell upon all who drank from its waters and sought shelter in its embrace. The animals, their hearts open and eager to contribute, awaited guidance, understanding that the responsibility of the river's welfare was a shared one. It was the otters, with their intimate knowledge of the river's ways, who stepped forward to lead this noble endeavor. They understood that for the river to remain vibrant and life-giving, its waters must stay clean and its banks lush and unpolluted. Elder Tusker's voice carried the wisdom of the ages, each word painting a picture of the otter's dedication and love for their home. With patience and enthusiasm, the otters taught the other animals how to care for the river. They showed the birds how to build nests without harming the trees that stood as guardians of the water. They guided the elephants in using their strength to clear blocked streams that fed into the river, ensuring its flow remained unimpeded. The listeners, inspired by the otter's wisdom, imagined the collective effort, each species contributing in their unique way to the river's well-being. The otters also shared the secret of the river plants, teaching which ones were to be nurtured for their ability to keep the water clean and which were harmful and needed to be controlled. They encouraged the hippos and the fish to play their part, maintaining the balance of the ecosystem within the river's depths. Elder Tusker's tale was not just a recounting of events. It was a lesson in stewardship, a call to action that resonated with every heart and soul present. Under the otter's guidance, the animals worked together, their efforts a testament to the strength of their unity. The river flourished, its waters clearer, its banks verdant and teeming with life. Fish were abundant, quenching the hunger of many, and the clean water nourished the land, ensuring that all who lived by the river's grace prospered. The animals, listening intently, felt a surge of pride and joy, realizing that their collective efforts could sustain the miracle of life that the river bestowed upon them. Thus, through the otter's contribution, a new era of prosperity and harmony was ushered along the riverbanks. The river, once a source of contention, now bound them all in a web of interdependence and mutual respect. The animals learned that by giving back to the river, they ensured their own survival and the well-being of future generations. Elder Tusker, his tale drawing to a close, looked upon the faces before him, each reflecting the light of understanding and the warmth of community spirit. The otters, through their wisdom and generosity, taught us that the health of our home, the river, mirrors the health of all who dwell within its reach. Let us carry forward the lessons of the otters, cherishing our river, not merely as a resource, but as a sacred trust, a lifeline that unites us all in the dance of life. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of gold and crimson, Elder Tusker gathered the animals for the concluding part of today's tale. The air was filled with a sense of peace and anticipation, as if the savannah itself was listening. In the time that followed the otter's wise teachings, the river transformed, began Elder Tusker, his voice resonating with the depth of the earth itself. Gone were the days of strife and contention over its precious waters. In their place, a new era dawned, one of peace, abundance, and mutual respect. The animals, nestled closely around the ancient elephant, hung on every word, their minds painting vivid images of the river's transformation. The riverbanks, once marred by the scars of conflict, now thrived as a beacon of harmony. Animals of all kinds came to drink from its rejuvenated waters, not in fear, but in gratitude and friendship. The lush vegetation that lined its banks offered nourishment and shelter, a testament to the care and respect it now received. Elder Tusker paused, allowing the significance of these words to settle in the hearts of his audience. The birds sang sweeter songs, their melodies a celebration of the life that flourished around the river. The fish leapt joyously, their silver scales glinting in the sunlight, as if to show their thanks for the clean, unpolluted waters they called home. A gentle breeze stirred, carrying with it the fragrant scent of blooming flowers, as if nature itself was affirming the truth of Elder Tusker's tale. Predators and prey came to the river's edge, not in the tense truce of the hunt, but in a shared understanding that the water was a gift for all. The crocodile, once the solitary guardian of the river, now watched over its waters with a wisdom and fairness that earned him the respect and admiration of all who lived in the savannah. The younger animals, wide-eyed and captivated, could scarcely believe that such a transformation was possible. Yet, in the reassuring presence of Elder Tusker, they felt the stirrings of hope and the realization that change, though challenging, was within their reach. The otters, playful and industrious, continued their work, maintaining the balance of the river's ecosystem. Their dedication served as a constant reminder of the importance of each creature's role in the health and well-being of their shared home. Elder Tusker's gaze swept over his audience, each animal a vital thread in the tapestry of life that surrounded them. This harmony, my friends, was not achieved through dominance or fear, but through understanding, cooperation, and mutual respect. It shows us that even the deepest divides can be bridged and the fiercest conflicts resolved when we come together for the greater good. The twilight deepened, stars beginning to twinkle in the vast African sky, each one a silent witness to the wisdom being shared. As we look upon the river, let it be a reminder of what we can achieve when we put aside our differences and work together. Let us carry the spirit of the river in our hearts, spreading its message of peace and cooperation to all corners of the savannah. Elder Tusker's story came to a close, but the lessons it imparted lingered in the air, as tangible as the gentle night breeze. The animals, moved by the tale of the river's transformation, felt a renewed sense of purpose and unity. In the silence that followed, the savannah seemed to whisper its approval, its vast expanse a canvas for the stories of old and the tales yet to be written, all woven together by the enduring power of harmony and mutual respect. As the night wrapped the savannah in a cloak of stars and whispered secrets of old, Elder Tusker, the venerable guardian of tales, summoned the animals for one final reflection. The air hummed with the magic of unity, a testament to the journey they had embarked upon together. "Tonight," Elder Tusker began, his voice a gentle rumble like distant thunder, "we have woven together the stories of our past, each strand a lesson in harmony and cooperation. But let us ponder for a moment the true essence of our tale, the secret that the river itself has shared with us." The animals gathered closer, the warmth of their bodies mingling in the cool night air, a living symbol of the unity that Elder Tusker spoke of. "The river," he continued, "with its ceaseless flow, has whispered to us a profound truth, that the strength of the water lies not in its current, nor in the depth of its channels, but in the unity it inspires among us all." A hush fell over the gathering, the words settling in their hearts like seeds waiting to sprout. "Consider the journey of a single drop of water," Elder Tusker mused, his eyes reflecting the starlight. "Alone it is vulnerable, easily evaporated under the sun's gaze, or absorbed into the dry earth. But together, united with countless others, it becomes the river. Powerful, life-giving, unstoppable." Nods of understanding rippled through the crowd, each animal reflecting on their part in the tapestry of life that the river symbolized. "This is the secret that the river shares with us," Elder Tusker declared. "That by working together, pooling our strengths and supporting each other, we can overcome the greatest challenges and ensure the well-being of all. The river's true power, its very essence, is the unity it represents." A murmur of agreement rose, a chorus of diverse voices united in a common understanding. We have seen this truth in the story of the crocodile and the otters, in the way the otters led us in caring for the river, and in the harmony that now flourishes along its banks. Each tale, a reflection of cooperation, a reminder that we are stronger together than we could ever be apart. Elder Tusker's gaze swept over his audience, each animal a testament to the journey they had undertaken, from skepticism and strife to understanding and unity. As the dawn breaks and we part ways, let us carry the river's secret in our hearts. Let it be a beacon that guides our actions, reminding us that when we come together, there is no obstacle too great, no challenge insurmountable. The first light of dawn crept over the horizon, casting a golden glow that seemed to bless the gathering with its radiance. Let the river's flow remind us of the ever-present possibility of renewal and the power of cooperation. For in the reflection of its waters, we see not just ourselves, but each other, connected in the endless cycle of life. With those final words, Elder Tusker fell silent, his message a gentle yet powerful call to action. The animals, their hearts full and their spirits lifted, knew that the lessons of the night would echo in their lives, guiding them toward a future where cooperation and respect reigned. As they dispersed with the rising sun, the savannah awoke to a new day, one filled with the promise of unity and the enduring strength of the river's secret. Chapter 3. The Dance of the Seasons. In the heart of the vast savannah, where the whispers of the ancient land spoke of unity and the river flowed with the secrets of cooperation, a new tale was about to unfold. It was a time of change, as the vibrant cloak of summer gently yielded to the tender embrace of autumn. The air was alive with the dance of the seasons, painting the sky with hues of amber and gold. However, amidst this natural beauty, a ripple of concern spread through the animal kingdom. Zara, the beloved sunbird, known for her dazzling feathers that shimmered in the sunlight, and her sweet melody that welcomed the dawn, had gone missing. Word of Zara's mysterious disappearance spread like wildfire, from the towering giraffes, whose whispers descended from the heavens, to the scurrying ants, whose network of messages ran deep beneath the earth. Elder Tusker, the wise elephant who had taught them the value of unity, called upon the animals to gather. As the seasons change, so too do our challenges, Elder Tusker began, his voice as steady as the ancient rocks. But let us remember the lessons of the river. Together there is no mystery we cannot unravel, no hardship we cannot overcome. Motivated by Elder Tusker's words, the animals formed search teams, each group determined to uncover the truth behind Zara's disappearance. The lions used their strength to scout the vast expanses of the savannah. The monkeys swung from tree to tree, their eyes keen for any sign of the missing sunbird. Even the smallest creatures, like the ants and beetles, joined the search, proving that every effort, no matter how small, was valuable. Days passed, and the sun rose and set, casting its golden light over a land united in purpose. The animals communicated with each other like never before, their determination fueled by the bonds of friendship and the spirit of cooperation. One evening, as the sky blazed with the fiery colors of twilight, a breakthrough came. The meerkats, with their keen eyesight, spotted a glint of color in the thicket near the river's edge. With a mix of excitement and caution, the animals gathered, their hearts beating as one. Carefully, they approached the thicket, parting the leaves to reveal a small hidden nest. There, nestled among the soft feathers and warmth, was Zara, not lost but tending to her newly hatched chicks. The animals let out a collective sigh of relief, their joy echoing across the savannah. Zara, with tears glistening in her eyes, thanked her friends for their concern and dedication. "My dear friends," Zara sang, her voice as melodious as the morning breeze. "I was never lost, but simply embarking on the greatest journey of all, motherhood. I sought the seclusion of the thicket to ensure the safety of my chicks until they were ready to greet the world." The animals, moved by Zara's words, realized that their journey had taught them more than the value of unity in the face of mystery. It had shown them the depth of their care for one another, a testament to the strength of their community. Elder Tusker, his eyes twinkling with wisdom, spoke, "Let this tale be a reminder of the beauty that lies in the dance of the seasons. A dance that brings change but also new beginnings. Together, we have turned concern into joy, proving that our unity is our greatest strength." As the stars began to sprinkle the night sky, the animals celebrated around Zara's nest, their laughter and songs a melody of friendship and togetherness. The mystery of the disappearance had brought them closer, weaving their lives together in a tapestry as vibrant and enduring as the savanna itself. And so, as the seasons continue to dance, the animals of the savanna move forward, their spirits entwined in a bond of unity, ready to face whatever the future held, together. With the revelation of Zara's new journey into motherhood, the animals of the savanna felt a renewed sense of unity and purpose. Yet, Elder Tusker reminded them that the dance of the seasons held more lessons to uncover, more mysteries to explore. The search for Zara has ended, but let us not forget the journey it inspired, Elder Tusker proclaimed, his voice echoing like a gentle rumble of distant thunder. The seasons change, each bringing its own challenge and beauty. Let us journey through our kingdom to see the lessons they offer, to understand the cycle of life that binds us all. And so, under the guidance of Elder Tusker, the animals embarked on a journey unlike any they had ventured on before. They traveled through the diverse landscapes of their kingdom, each area uniquely touched by the seasons. Their first stop was the heart of the savanna during the embrace of autumn. Here, the once green canvas had transformed into a mosaic of amber and gold, the leaves dancing in the wind before settling gently on the earth below. The antelopes explained, "Autumn teaches us about change, about the beauty of letting go. What was once green must now rest, giving life to the soil, preparing for the renewal of spring." Next, they ventured into the dense canopy of the forest, where the monsoon rains of summer had nourished the flora, leaving the air filled with the scent of life. The parrots, vibrant against the green backdrop, chirped in unison. Summer is a time of abundance, of growth. It reminds us to cherish the warmth, to bask in the bounty it brings, and to share this prosperity with one another. As they moved on, the animals found themselves at the edge of the desert, where the sands whispered tales of endurance. Here, the camel spoke of summer's harsh embrace. The heat of summer tests us, teaches us resilience. It is in the scarcity that we learn the value of water, of shade, and of solidarity in the face of adversity. Their journey then led them to the foot of the mountains, where the chill of winter was beginning to cloak the peaks in snow. The mountain goats, sure-footed and steady, shared. Winter may seem cold and unforgiving, but it is a time for reflection, for conservation. It teaches us to be resilient, to find warmth in our community, and to rest, for with spring comes the promise of renewal. Lastly, as they circled back to the savanna, the first buds of spring were beginning to bloom, painting the land with the promise of new life. The bees, busy among the flowers, hummed. Spring is a celebration of rebirth, of the endless cycle of life. It reminds us to cherish each new beginning, to nurture the young, and to welcome the return of the sun with joy in our hearts. With each landscape visited and each lesson shared, the animals grew to understand the intricate dance of the seasons. They saw the interconnectedness of life, how each season's unique challenges and gifts were essential to the balance of their world. Elder Tusker, watching the wonder and realization dawn in the eyes of his companions, knew that the journey had imparted wisdom far beyond the search for Zara. The seasons change, as do we, he mused. But in every change, there is a lesson, in every season, a story. Together, we are part of this great cycle, each of us essential to the harmony of the whole. As the animals returned to their homes, their hearts were full of the lessons learned from the dance of the seasons. They understood now more than ever the importance of each season and the role it played not just in the cycle of life, but in fostering the unity and cooperation that had become the cornerstone of their kingdom. In the heart of the enchanted forest, where the sun dappled through the thick canopy and the air thrummed with the melody of life, the animals embarked on the final chapter of their quest. Elder Tusker, leading the way with his steady, wise stride, guided them deeper into the green embrace. The animals moved with a sense of purpose, their hearts alight with the lessons of the seasons still fresh in their minds. As they ventured further, the forest seemed to awaken, recognizing the purity of their quest. The trees whispered secrets with their rustling leaves, and the wind carried messages of hope and endurance. It was here, in a clearing bathed in golden sunlight, that they found Zara, the sunbird, her feathers more vibrant than ever, shimmering with the essence of life itself. Zara greeted them with a melody so pure, so filled with joy, that it seemed to bind the very air with a sense of unity and purpose. "My friends," she began, her voice a gentle chirp that resonated with the wisdom of the natural world. "My disappearance was but a part of the great dance of the seasons, a role I must play in the cycle of life." She explained how her journey had taken her deep into the realms of the forest, where she had sung the songs of awakening to the sleeping seeds, her melody encouraging them to break free from their earthen slumber. With every flower she kissed, with every seed she caressed, she had woven the thread of life, ensuring the blooming of flowers and the spread of seeds, a testament to the renewal that spring brought to the land. The forest blooms in response to my call, the seeds spread far and wide with my touch. It is a dance of giving and receiving, of nurturing and growing, Zara said, her eyes gleaming with the knowledge of her essential role within the tapestry of life. The animals listened, enraptured by her tale, realizing that Zara's disappearance was not a loss, but a sacrifice, a necessary absence that allowed the forest to flourish. They understood that each creature, no matter how small, played a crucial role in the balance of nature, contributing to the health and vitality of their world in ways unseen but deeply felt. Elder Tusker stepped forward, his old eyes reflecting the depth of his wisdom. Zara's journey teaches us the importance of each role within the cycle of life. It shows us that what may seem like a small part can have a profound impact on the world around us. He turned to face the assembly of animals, his voice resonant with the authority of one who has seen many cycles of the seasons come and go. Let this discovery remind us of the beauty of our interconnections, of the strength we find in unity and cooperation. Let us embrace our roles, however big or small, with the knowledge that each of us contributes to the harmony of the whole. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the forest floor, the animals gathered around Zara, their hearts filled with a newfound respect for the cycles of the seasons and the roles each of them played. They realized that the true discovery was not just finding Zara, but uncovering the deeper mysteries of life and the natural world. With the forest around them humming with the vibrant energy of life, the animals made their way back to their homes, carrying with them the lessons of the seasons, the importance of each creature's role, and the understanding that in the heart of the forest, life danced to the rhythm of an ancient, enduring melody. In the days that followed, the kingdom thrived like never before, a testament to the unity and cooperation that had been forged through the journey of discovery. And in the heart of the forest, Zara continued her dance, a beacon of life's enduring cycle, her song a reminder of the beauty and responsibility that each season brings. In the days that followed the discovery of Zara's vital role in the dance of the seasons, a profound transformation unfolded within the heart of the forest and among its inhabitants. The animals, once guided by their individual needs and desires, now saw themselves as threads in a larger tapestry, their lives intricately woven with those of their neighbors and the rhythm of the seasons themselves. Elder Tusker, ever the sage, watched this transformation with a heart full of warmth. "See how understanding breeds unity," he murmured to the wind, which seemed to carry his words across the forest canopy. A gathering was called at the clearing where Zara had been found, beneath the ancient banyan tree that stood as a testament to the cycles of growth and renewal. Here, in the soft glow of the dawn, the animals came together, each species represented, from the tiniest ant to the most majestic elephant. Lana, the wise old leopard, spoke of the cycles of the moon and how they influenced the tides of the rivers and the growth of the plants. "We are all children of the same moon," she said, her voice a gentle purr that soothed the assembly. Hopper, the fleet-footed hare, shared tales of the winds and how they carried seeds across great distances, sowing the future of the forest with every gust and breeze. "We are the breath of the forest," he declared, his eyes sparkling with the joy of discovery. And so it went, each animal taking a turn to speak of the natural forces that shape their lives and the lives of those around them. With every story, the sense of unity deepened, a shared understanding that they were all part of something greater, a single entity moving in harmony with the pulse of the earth. It was Zara, with her vibrant plumage and voice of silver threads, who wove their stories together. "We are the forest, and the forest is us," she sang, her melody rising like the morning sun, touching each heart with its warmth. As her song filled the air, the animals looked around at their fellow creatures, seeing them not as competitors or threats, but as companions and co-inhabitants of their shared home. The predators and the prey, the winged and the grounded, all saw in each other a reflection of themselves, a piece of the same puzzle that made up the world they lived in. The realization that their lives were interconnected with the seasons and with each other brought about a new era of cooperation and harmony in the forest. The animals began to work together, ensuring that the rivers remained clean, the forests lush, and the meadows fertile. They took turns caring for the young and the old, sharing the bounty of the forest so that none would want. Elder Tusker, seeing the unity that had blossomed among the inhabitants of the forest, knew that the lessons of the seasons had been well learned. "This unity," he proclaimed, "is our strength, our future. Let us nurture it as we would the smallest seedling, for it will grow into a mighty tree under whose branches all can find shelter." As the meeting under the banyan tree came to a close, the animals dispersed, carrying with them the seeds of unity and cooperation. The forest thrived as never before, its inhabitants living in harmony with each other and the cycles of nature. The seasons continued their eternal dance, but now they did so to the rhythm of a forest united. a community bound by the understanding and respect that had been kindled in their hearts. And so the dance of the seasons became not just a cycle of life and renewal, but a celebration of unity, a testament to the power of understanding and cooperation. In the heart of the forest, under the watchful eye of the ancient banyan tree, the animals lived out their days in peace and prosperity, a community in harmony with the world and with each other. In the heart of the forest, where the ancient banyan tree spread its vast canopy, the air was filled with an air of anticipation. The equinox was upon them, a time when day and night stood in perfect balance, a celestial reflection of the harmony that had blossomed among the forest dwellers. It was a moment Elder Tusker had chosen to celebrate the unity and balance they had all worked so hard to achieve. As the sun dipped closer to the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, the animals began to gather. Each brought something to share, from the sweetest fruits to the freshest leaves, from the clearest water to the most fragrant flowers. It was a feast, not just of food, but of spirit, a celebration of the abundance the forest offered to those who lived in harmony with it. Elder Tusker, with his deep, rumbling voice, called the gathering to order. "Today," he began, "we stand as equals, bathed in the same light, shadowed by the same darkness. The equinox reminds us of the balance within the world and within ourselves. Let this day be a testament to the harmony we share with all living beings and with the cycles that guide us." Zara, the sunbird whose disappearance and return had taught them so much about the cycles of life, fluttered above the assembled animals, her plumage catching the last rays of the setting sun. She sang a melody of gratitude and joy, a song that seemed to weave the very essence of the forest into a tapestry of sound. Then Lana, the wise old leopard, stepped forward. "Let us each share a story," she proposed, "a tale of what the forest has taught us, of the lessons we've learned from living in balance with nature and with each other." One by one, the animals spoke. Hopper, the hare, told of the winds that taught him the joy of freedom and the strength of gentleness. A group of ants spoke of the power of community, how each individual's effort, no matter how small, contributed to the well-being of all. A young deer recounted her first winter, how she learned the importance of trust and the warmth of kinship in the face of adversity. As the stories flowed, the animals realized that though their experiences were diverse, the themes were universal: trust, learning, growth, and balance. The tales wove together, forming a rich mosaic of life in the forest, a life that was possible only through the harmony they had nurtured among themselves. As night fell and the first stars appeared in the velvet sky, Elder Tusker declared it time to light the bonfire. The animals gathered close, the fire's warm glow illuminating their faces, reflecting the joy and unity that filled their hearts. They danced around the fire, a dance of celebration, of life and its cycles, of balance and harmony. The dance continued until the moon was high in the sky, its silver light a gentle counterpoint to the golden warmth of the fire. As the celebration drew to a close, Elder Tusker spoke once more. "Let this equinox be a reminder," he said, "of the balance within us and around us. May we always strive to live in harmony, not just with each other, but with the world itself." Let the dance of the seasons guide us, and let the balance of night and day remind us of the middle path, the way of peace and unity. With hearts full and spirits lifted, the animals slowly dispersed, each carrying with them the light of the fire and the warmth of shared community. The equinox celebration had been a reflection of their journey, a symbol of the balance and harmony they had achieved, a balance they vowed to maintain as the seasons continued their eternal dance. And so, under the watchful eye of the ancient banyan tree, the forest slept, its inhabitants united in a bond of mutual respect and understanding, a community in harmony with the rhythm of the earth, forever changed by the lessons of the seasons and the celebration of the equinox. In the serene aftermath of the equinox celebration, as the first light of dawn began to caress the treetops, Elder Tusker stood by the ancient banyan tree, his immense silhouette etched against the awakening sky. The animals, drawn by a sense of reverence and curiosity, gathered around him, their eyes reflecting the soft glow of the new day. Elder Tusker gazed at the assembly with deep, wise eyes that had witnessed the turning of countless seasons. "My dear friends," he began, his voice resonant with the calm of the early morning, "our journey together has been a testament to the strength that lies in unity, the beauty of respect, and the unyielding power of cooperation." He paused, allowing his words to settle like dew upon the leaves, then continued. "We have learned that every creature, from the smallest ant to the mightiest elephant, plays an indispensable role in the balance of nature. Each of us contributes to the harmony of the forest, to the cycle of life that sustains us all." The animals listened, captivated by the wisdom that flowed from Elder Tusker. He spoke of the lessons they had learned. From the tale of the ants and the grasshopper, which taught them the value of preparation and teamwork. From the saga of the river, where the crocodile and the otters found common ground, showing them the importance of sharing and compassion. And from the story of the missing sunbird, which revealed the profound connections between them and the natural cycles that envelop their lives. These stories, Elder Tusker emphasized, are not just tales of the past, they are beacons for our future. They remind us that cooperation and respect are not merely ideals to aspire to, but essential foundations for our survival and prosperity. He looked around at the gathered animals, his gaze imbued with a gentle firmness. Let us carry these lessons forward. Let us weave the wisdom of cooperation, respect, and balance into the fabric of our daily lives. Let us remember that every action we take affects the whole, that we are all interlinked in the intricate web of life. The forest was alive with the sounds of morning, a symphony of birdsong and rustling leaves, as if nature itself was affirming the truth of Elder Tusker's words. "The harmony we have achieved is precious," he said, "and it is fragile. It is up to each of us to protect it, to nurture the bonds that hold us together, and to honor the balance that sustains us." As the sun rose higher, casting a golden light through the forest, Elder Tusker concluded, "Let the wisdom of the elephant, the spirit of the forest, and the dance of the seasons guide you. Remember, we are but stewards of this world, guardians of its harmony. In our unity, in our respect for each other and for all life, lies our hope for the future." The animals, moved by Elder Tusker's words, felt a renewed sense of purpose and commitment. They understood that the lessons they had learned were not just for today, but for all the tomorrows to come. As they dispersed to begin their day, each carried with them a piece of the wisdom Elder Tusker had shared, a beacon to light their way. And so, under the watchful eye of the ancient banyan tree, life in the forest went on, guided by the principles of cooperation, respect, and balance. The animals lived in harmony with each other and with the natural world, a living testament to the wisdom of the elephant and the enduring dance of the seasons. As the sun climbed higher, bathing the forest in a warm golden light, the animals began to disperse, each returning to their part of the kingdom, carrying with them the profound lessons imparted by Elder Tusker. The air was filled with a sense of renewal, a shared commitment to live in harmony with each other and with the natural world that cradled their existence. In the heart of the forest, the ancient banyan tree stood as a silent witness to the vows made that day. Its sprawling roots, which had seen the rise and fall of countless seasons, seemed to embrace the earth even tighter, as if to acknowledge the promise of a new beginning. The animals, once guided solely by instinct, now moved with a purpose informed by wisdom. The lions roamed with a newfound respect for the delicate balance of their domain, ensuring that the circle of life was maintained in its most harmonious form. The birds, from the tiniest sparrow to the grandest eagle, sang songs that carried messages of unity and peace, their melodies weaving through the trees like threads of gold. The river, once a source of conflict, now flowed with the spirit of cooperation. The crocodiles lay basking on its banks, their eyes soft with the understanding that their strength was to be a shield for all who drank from its waters, not a gatekeeper. The otters played in its currents, their laughter a testament to the joy found in shared prosperity. Even the smallest of creatures, the ants and the bees, went about their toil with a sense of duty to the greater good. Their labour, once seen as mere survival, now took on the hue of a sacred task. Each grain of sand moved, and every drop of nectar collected, a building block in the edifice of their shared home. As the seasons danced their eternal cycle, the forest thrived like never before. The trees grew taller, their canopies a lush tapestry of green that sheltered life in all its forms. The rivers and streams sang with clarity, their waters a mirror to the sky, unmarred by discord. The meadows blossomed in a riot of colours, a celebration of life in its most exuberant expression. And at the heart of it all was the memory of an ancient elephant, Elder Tusker, whose stories had sown the seeds of change. His tales, woven from the fabric of the forest's long history, had become the lore of the land, passed down from one generation to the next. They were more than just stories. They were the compass by which the animals navigated their existence, a guide to living in harmony with the world and with each other. The legacy of respect and cooperation that Elder Tusker had imparted became the cornerstone of the forest's culture. Disputes were resolved with words, not claws or fangs. Resources were shared, not hoarded. Every life, from the most insignificant to the most imposing, was valued and protected. As the years passed, the forest became a beacon of peace, a testament to the possibility of coexistence among diverse beings. Travelers from distant lands, drawn by tales of a kingdom where predator and prey lived side by side in mutual respect, came to witness this wonder for themselves. They found a community bound not by fear or dominance, but by a collective will to prosper together. respecting the contributions of each individual, regardless of their strength or size. They saw a world where the wisdom of the past informed the present, guiding the way to a future where all could thrive. The legacy of Elder Tusker, the memory of the elephant, lived on, a timeless echo of the forest's heart. It was a legacy of respect, of cooperation, and of love for the world that nurtured them. And in this legacy, the animals found not just survival, but a life imbued with meaning. A life lived in harmony with the dance of the seasons.